What is NLD?
NLD is a rare neurological disorder that affects the right hemisphere of the brain. It is damage to the white matter which connects the two halves. There are three main areas of deficit: social skills, motor skills, and visual spatial awareness skills.
Basically a disorder where individuals have significantly discrepant abilities in visual spatial processing and fluid reasoning compared to their acquired knowledge or their verbal ability. And it manifests itself in different types of academic difficulties, particularly in math, and it can also look like Asperger's disorder in terms of social deficits that come along with nonverbal learning disability.
In my mind, NLD is for my son, a complex of symptoms. My son is quite bright, so it doesn't affect intelligence. It affects his interactions with other people, his sociability. It affects his perceptions of other people in terms of friends and family. And I think it's also significant in my son because it contributes to a higher level than normal of anxiety and a little bit of compulsive behavior.
Would be significant deficits in social skills. For instance, individuals with nonverbal learning disabilities typically miss social cues that the average person would be aware of. And again, some other signs of it are having difficulty with visual spatial tasks. Handwriting may be very difficult, any type of drawing, things like that. Finding your way around, not having a sense of direction.
Organization, time management. Educationally, I do well with things by rote. So in school, for example, vocabulary I'm very good with. Disadvantage probably is my social blunders and inability to read social cues and act appropriately in certain social situations.
Ability is typically a strength for students with nonverbal learning disability. Classes like English and history, for instance, could be a strength. Reading for younger students could be an area of strength. Weaknesses typically are in more abstract subjects where fluid reasoning and visual spatial processing are play more of a role in the student's performance. So particularly math. Students with nonverbal learning disabilities have issues with math calculation, and they have difficulty with math reasoning problems. So basically word problems that have multiple steps. Science classes like chemistry, physics would be difficult. Anything that requires those cognitive abilities be difficult. Individualized education plan, it is for special education students only, so students who meet the criteria of one of the disabilities under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The IEP is tailored to the student's specific needs, and it typically lays out what type of accommodations the student should be getting in what classes, and then it has goals and objectives for that student to be reaching each year. And the IEP is redone annually.
Let's see. Well, because I'm more aware of the symptoms and what the negative effects are, I learn to recognize when things are spiraling out of control or when I'm overreacting. So I kind of have to stop myself sometimes.
Starting three years ago, our son
We had to have him move to a classroom of his own. Up until, into grade 4, he was attending a regular class, but a lot of behaviors arose in grade 4. And, with that, it was, very hard to get him to concentrate and to focus. And so he had to be in a classroom by himself. Since grade 3, he's only been going to school in the mornings.
People don't know. It isn't something that I hide necessarily, but because it's so rare and it's so unknown, I don't want to have to explain it to everyone. The most important people to me know about it, like my mom and my dad and my sister. The people around me know.